Hi guys, this is Hayden McPherson. Currently, I'm a level 2 grad student at Tarleton University, a part of the MSAT program, which is the Master of Science of Athletic Training program.
Hi guys, I'm Coy. I'm also a second year student in the MSAT program or the Masters in Athletic Training program at Tarleton State University. I also did my undergrad at Tarleton State as well, leading up to the Master's program.
And we just wanted to make a quick video kind of explaining the Tarleton Masters program, maybe a few common questions that we hear from people that are looking to join the program, see if we can just answer some and get you guys pretty well informed of the program.
Okay, guys, so the next thing we wanted to talk to you a little about is the application process for this program. It's going to be a basic online application. You're going to go to tarleton.edu or Google Tarleton State University Master's Program application, and it's going to be a basic application. You'll fill it out, send it in. You'll attach an essay kind of explaining why you want to join the program, why you want to be an athletic trainer, an athletic training student, and then you'll attach some references as well. They don't have to be athletic training references, but it is recommended that they are. You have at least one or two, and then you'll also have to complete an internship prior to your application for the master's program and your admission into that program in the healthcare field in some way. And then Hayden will explain a little bit more in depth about the interview process as well.
Yeah, so they're going to want to have you turn in your applications late fall, early winter, about that frame, so they can start reviewing everyone's application. Then what's going to happen next is going to be an interview process to where if you live a couple states away, you can, via webcam interview with the faculty there, or if you live close enough and you can make it, an on-person interview. So what will happen is since there's only 12 to 15 slots available per class, so it's a small sample size, you get a ton of one-on-one time. So it's great if you're one of those learners. So when they take that and then you get accepted into the program actually starts early summer where you kind of get a lot of the fundamentals of being an athletic trainer. What's it like to be a student athletic trainer? What's it like to even be a graduate student and how you handle all those things? And then as well as just bonding with your class, you've got a small class, so you guys all be great friends by the end of it. And so you'll just get those connections, be comfortable with your class, kind of lay down just that basic groundwork before you actually start the semester and you're in season with whatever sport you're assigned.
Okay, so the next thing we want to talk to you guys about is a little bit about our program and kind of in depth dive into it. The Master's Program for Athletic Training at Tarleton is a KD accredited program, which means the KD, as it's referred to by the students and professors and such, is the Commission on Accreditation of Athletic Training Education. So essentially, what that means is they tell our teachers exactly what we need to learn in each semester so that when we get out of the program, when we graduate, we're ready to sit for our certification exam or our licensure exam, and we're ready to move into that professional world and operate on our own as a professional. So most programs, or not most programs, but some programs are going to be research based, where you're going to do a lot of hands on research and write papers and such, and clinical based. Tarleton's is a clinical based program, which means you're going to spend a lot of hours at your clinical site. So for your first years, you're going to have class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that means Tuesday and Thursday at least you're going to be at your clinical site all day. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, after classes are over and after lunch and things like that, you will be at your clinical site for the rest of the day until your athletic trainers leave. And that is what we call an immersive clinical experience, so that you are there the full day. You see exactly what an athletic trainer's day looks like in its entirety, whether it's on game day or just a normal class day with practice. And then Hayden will expand a little bit more about our semesters and the classes that we're going to take in each semester that lead up to that.
Yeah, so he talked about how you're going to be at a clinical site, and that's going to differ semester to semester just because we want you guys to get the full grasp of different sports, or even if you want to work in the non traditional setting, we actually do have a clinical site at a doctor's office, and there may be more that we could set up in the future. But what you're going to do is maybe your fall semester first time there, you may be with one sport underneath a athletic trainer there, and then the following semester you're going to be at a different sport or maybe a different site altogether, since we do have local high schools, local junior colleges that you can go work at. So you're really just getting a whole bunch of variety. You're learning under a bunch of athletic trainers. You're seeing a lot of sports because not every athletic trainer is going to be the same. And what you don't want to do is just mimic the athletic trainer you learned under. So we can just wrap up all together. And so maybe you get the best of like 5 or 6 different athletic trainers put into practice of what they did, what they were good at, maybe their philosophy on their athletic training and how that went. And then as far as classes go, while you're in that clinical scenario, so classes will kind of tie into clinicals as far as your first years, you guys are going to handle upper extremity evaluations or lower extremity evaluations, and then you can learn about maybe gen med practices such as learning how to evaluate the flu and how to evaluate migraines or concussions, something like that. And then we also have a class which is a mandatory study abroad, which is not what a lot of classes offer, is to where you get to actually go to another country, see what athletic training looks like, or see what healthcare looks like in another country. We just had a class go to Ireland where they got to view what medical professionals do in Ireland and how they're bringing in their own athletic training curriculum over there. And then at the end of everything, as he talked about your exit level exam, so we call it the BOC or the Board of Certification exam. And this is kind of the exam that lets you practice as an athletic trainer. So this whole program is built toward getting you ready to take that BOC in the spring or summer whenever you graduate, to where whenever you're applying for jobs, you've already taken your BOC and you can tell them over the summers, like, hey, I got my BOC ready, I'm ready to go. So that is what our program is built for. So once you take your BOC, you're ready to go get a job, be a professional.
So the next and kind of last thing we're going to talk about in this video is some of the questions that we had coming into the program and that the year ones and the people under us in the program had, as well as some of the questions y'all might have. One of the main ones that we get all the time is about study abroad. Hayden touched on the mandatory study abroad we have. I was part of the group that actually went to Ireland this spring break, and we walked around in Dublin and we stayed there for about 7 days. Got cut a little bit short because of everything that's going on, but we talked to some of their healthcare professionals. They call physiotherapists is essentially an athletic trainer over there, and they actually are one of the 2 other countries besides the U.S. that have an agreement with the Katie that we talked about earlier to start rolling out athletic training curriculum and get athletic trainers out into that country and into their sports, which are much, much different than the American sports that we typically have. As well as another thing is scholarships. Study abroad does get a little expensive sometimes. There are numerous scholarships you can apply to help supplement your pay for that. You do find out well in advance where you're going and how much it's going to cost so you can start saving that money. The scholarships are within the university. You can apply out of the university, and not just for the study abroad. There's numerous scholarships through the National Athletic Training Association and the Southwestern Athletic Training Association, which is our regional athletic training conference, as well as many, many others due to military, or if you have a certain ethnic background, you can apply for scholarships of that nature and things like that. So there's plenty of opportunities out there to help supplement your school funding if you so choose, or you do need that help.
And then another financial question we see a lot is people's worry about if they can retain a job or not. So we talked about how whenever you work in your clinicals, you are basically working kind of like a job to where you are there all the time. And so people's hours are long and they find that they have to be flexible with their job. So if you've got a job with a great boss, and you can work around it to where maybe you work at different times where you can be at clinical and then you can go to your job when you're not there, you're not in school, and just being the ability to be flexible and adaptable is really key in this program. And there's plenty of other jobs. I know Corey here, he's had a job on campus to where thankfully they're really flexible. They let him work when he can. They understand, you're a grad student, you're in school, you've got all these things going on. I've worked as a Lyft driver, so if you've ever heard about Uber, it's just like Uber where I live. Just if I'm bored one night, not doing anything, maybe in the daytime, I log on whenever hours I want. I work, I drive, then I go home. So a big thing about our program is you have to be flexible, and you have to be flexible in real life anyway. So this is a really good learning point of how you can manage your money, how you can manage your time, manage multiple things going on at once. And then to steer away from that, so we also talked about how the class size is relatively small. So this is really beneficial for a lot of people that struggle in school or just need more time hands on. So with the class size being this small, you get a lot of hands on time. You get a ton of one on one time. You actually have scheduled meetings with your professors to where you talk to them solely one on one and you tell them exactly how you feel about the program. They figure out ways to help you, and anything you could ever be worrying about, you always have someone that's going to be there because they're not managing a ton of people, and so you have a lot more priority to them since the class size is too small. And so that's a huge benefit about coming to Tarleton is you get all these, especially preceptors too. You might be the only person at your clinical site with a preceptor, so you're working with them one on one all the time. So you can see everything they're doing. They're talking to you about everything they're doing. So it's just a lot of information you get to get. And then, as well as you guys may have questions over school attire. So, athletic trainers, polo, they dress up. We have, athletic clothing. There is a one-time fee, about $100, where you pay for clothes that they give you. Me and Coy right now are wearing our polos from Tarleton they gave us. You get well over $100 worth of clothes. It's very worth it. And then Coy's also going to talk about preceptors.
So you're gonna, like he hit on earlier, you're gonna have 4 different semesters, 2 fall, 2 spring. You're gonna have a different site each semester. So I personally have been at Weatherford High School, which is about a 40-minute drive away from campus. I've been with Tarleton baseball and softball. This last semester I was with Tarleton football as well as Hayden, and then this previous spring before everything happened, I was at Toller High School, which is about a 20-minute drive away. So, like he touched on earlier, you do get a lot of experience with different clinical preceptors. My first semester, I was with 2 athletic trainers that were relatively new to the profession, and then I was with a GA that was her second year, and then our football athletic trainer who's been in the profession for 10 to 15 years, and then the athletic trainer at Toller that's been an athletic trainer for over 25 years. So you do get a lot of different experience that you can kind of mold yourself around if you can pick things out from each preceptor that you really like they did, or maybe you didn't like something that one did, and you really just kind of can mold your way into being your own professional and your own person in the athletic training profession.
And along with that, since you are working on the same people, there is a massive amount of connections. I know that trainers, your network of people you know is paramount in your ability to get a job. Me personally, I worked at Wedford High School just like Coy did, into where there was a position available in the field I wanted. And due to my connection with that athletic trainer there, I was recommended for the job and actually got an interview solely based on her recommendation of me. So it just kind of showed me like how important connections are. And then aside from clinicals, there's other services that we do in our program, such as working with the Susan G. Coleman 3-day walk. We went and worked at it. I got a couple connections there. We went and worked at a PT clinic in Granbury for a week, to where you, aside from your clinical experiences, you have other connections via jobs you did, where if you might have just spent, 4 hours one day at, the marathon and you met 2 people, that's 2 more connections that you have that could relate to you getting a job. And then as well as connections to them, we have, our internal connections, such as Dr. Simpson, who is a NATA Hall of Fame athletic trainer. And then, Dr. Green, who worked at Texas State for a bit. Dr. J's been in the profession. She's our department head. She's got a million connections. And then we have Miss Nelson, who is our clinical coordinator, to where she had been an athletic trainer for 10 plus years and she has massive amounts of connections. So it's really just you get to build off all those things, and that will enhance your ability to get a job later on whenever you do graduate.
Yeah, and kind of piggybacking off that, like you said, Dr. Simpson, he actually was a athletic trainer for the United States Olympic teams for numerous years, and he still gets calls from the U.S. Olympic Committee to come help out with the teams and stuff like that. So he's got a humongous network of connections in the professional and international realm. We have numerous alumni. Alicia Lil is one of our alumni. She actually is in China right now working with the Chinese Olympic teams, and we have multiple alumni around in colleges and high schools that all love the program. They love to see how well we're doing. They come back all the time. They are really invested in us, and that's really good in a program, especially a program our size. We are a smaller program, but we are transitioning to a Division I university in the Western Athletic Conference, and so it's really nice to get all the exposure that y'all are going to get coming into this program as a D1 university with all the connections that you're bound to get once you get through this program and everything. So it'll be really good.
Okay, we hope we've answered some of your common questions and gave you guys the viewpoint of us as students that's actually been through the program. We hope we've explained how the program works and some of the benefits of it. And
So if y'all want more information on the application process, the requirements to get into the program, they even talk about study abroad. You can Google Tarleton State MSAT, MSAT, or Tarleton State Masters of Athletic Training Program, and you can go to the website and the application to the College of Graduate Studies, the application to the master's program, everything is right on that page, along with information about the BOC, Katie, the program itself, some of the courses to be taken. So if you have any questions, definitely go to there. I think some of the program directors' emails and stuff are on there as well. You can email them if you have any questions. And good luck with wherever you decide to apply. We hope you choose to be an athletic trainer.